Joining not just the City of Columbia, but all of our partners. We want to thank our sheriff for being here and being such a wonderful partner to the CPD and all the first responders here, our leaders from education, Richland 1 and Richland School District 2, leaders from our health partnerships and Palmetto Health and Providence, our transportation leaders from the Comet, and certainly all of our nonprofit partners being led, as we have for the last 100 years, by the United Way of the Midlands. We learned some great lessons as we dealt with the great floods of 2015, and it was that we're much stronger together, that partnerships are important and that they matter, and that every effort we can make to make as much information as ubiquitous as possible, just put it out there so that individuals can make decisions they need to make for themselves and their families to keep us all safe. It was so important. We're so thankful, I know that I am, as the mayor, and my colleagues, Councilman Davis, Councilman Duvall, Mayor Pro Tem Devine, and all of the other members of council are thankful for the fact that we've learned the lessons of hiring good people, giving them the resources to do their jobs well, and of course understanding the importance that we all understand the importance of accountability. With those firm beliefs, we weathered the storms of 2015, and together we're going to go into Hurricane Irma. We have shown throughout this community over the past several days just exactly what Columbia and the Midlands are all about, even as we look at the devastation that Irma is wreaking across the Caribbean. The people of the Midlands still came together to make sure that we did what was right in supporting the folks in the wake of Hurricane Harvey, because that's who we are. We're good, strong, and decent people, and we know that we have a responsibility to be our brothers and sisters' keeper. We're surrounded by a number of our partners. Our city manager is going to run and conduct this press conference, and our able leadership team are going to present from their respective departments, and then we're also going to have our partners share information so that, again, we don't know, we know that in 2017, people get their information from so many different sources that there's no one or singular source anymore. So we want to make sure we put as much information out there as possible so that our mothers and fathers and family members all across this community can have all the information that they need, and rest assured that we're working together in the interest of making sure that we promote public health and safety. Madam City Manager.
Good afternoon. Teresa Wilson, City Manager. Thank you, Mayor Benjamin. So we are praying for the best, and as the Mayor referenced, that we have learned many lessons, and we know that we must continue to always plan for every precautionary measure that we can take. Even though we continue to pray for the best, we want to be ready. The City of Columbia urges residents to take steps to protect themselves, their families, and their property during this entire hurricane season, but as we find ourselves with this particular weather event, Hurricane Irma, we do want to go ahead and deliver to you some of the measures that we've put in place and ask your cooperation to take particular attention for certain things. We know that one of the best ways to prepare for any type of natural disaster is to have plans in place and make sure everyone is fully informed about it. And the Mayor referenced this. We have found that what worked best for us previously, unfortunately, with some of the events we found ourselves having to deal with, is that comfort of informing the public and giving constant information. You can count on us to do that again throughout this event, and we pray that it doesn't last very long, but for the duration of it, you will find that we will give you regular updates. We will institute, as the situation develops, the city sharing emergency response incident reports through every media outlet that you could imagine, and all resources as far as hand delivering things or putting it out through all media outlets. We will do that as we did previously to provide updates on city operations and any information that our partner agencies can provide. The incident reports and all Hurricane Irma safety information will be posted on our website at columbiasc.net. And this plan may include information about emergency shelter locations, evacuation routes, portable emergency equipment, and what you need to have on you in case of an evacuation. In addition, as the need arises, we will announce points of distribution or pods for the dissemination of water and other resources. And again, we hope that none of this becomes pertinent, but if it does, we have already prepared for those measures. The City of Columbia offices will be closed on Monday. And when I say that we are closed, our offices that are forward-facing to the public will be closed, but the service delivery that you will find and usually find from our city, because that's mostly what we do, we have essential staff in the field, they will be working. But as far as forward-facing offices to pay water bills, et cetera, we will be closed. We will monitor the situation over the weekend and make a decision about Tuesday, and we will disseminate that information as that decision is made. We will also be fully operational in our Emergency Operations Center starting on Monday at 7 a.m., but our essential emergency management professionals are working now and will be working throughout the weekend. At this time, I do want to ask for Sheriff Leon Lott, Police Chief Skip Holbrook, and Fire Chief Aubrey Jenkins, who have collaborated, as they always do, but particularly during times such as this, have been working constantly over the last few days together, and I would like for them to come forward to give some additional feedback, updates, information. They will be followed by our Assistant City Manager, Clint Shealy, over Columbia Water, because we know that with some of the incidents of the past, we want to keep the public informed about everything that we've done to prepare for the continuous safe delivery of water and sewer services, as well as our Public Works Director, Robert Anderson, with Public Works information. So we will go in that order, and then I will come back up before the mayor announces our partner agencies.
Good afternoon. What to expect from public safety. First and foremost, we want to reiterate we're asking everyone to pay particular attention to their surroundings, especially if you're living in low-lying areas. I don't think we can stress enough how important it is to follow news through TV, radio, and social media. There's going to be a lot of information we'll continue to push out. We're prepared to fulfill all our staffing requests from the state, depending on some state decisions regarding evacuation from the coast or any lane reversals. We have commitments to that evacuation plan, and we plan to fulfill those beginning whenever they decide to initiate the plan. What you will see from us, as you did during the flood event especially, is seamless integration between our staff and Richland County Sheriff's Department and the Fire Department. I think that integration and collaboration is what prepared us to deal with rescues and safety measures, and then protect life and property, post-event. Each of our 5 regions will be up-staffed throughout the event. We will be online beginning at 5:30 a.m. Monday. We will also be manning 3 emergency operations centers, the City of Columbia, Richland County, and the State Emergency Operations Center. We're asking everyone, especially during, right up before and during and after this event, we need you to stay home, stay sheltered, stay off the roads, allow us to be the ones that are on the roadway responding to emergencies. And maybe on a lighter note, we understand that there's a possibility that USC and some of the other colleges may be not holding class Monday. We will be up staffing and 5 Point for those that choose not to study, take advantage of that study opportunity. So we encourage everyone to be safe and again, pay particular attention to your surroundings.
For the past 3 days, Chief Holbrook and Chief Jenkins and I have been meeting, and we have a plan in place, and I just want all the residents of Richland County to rest assured that have confidence in us, that we're prepared. We learned something in 2015, we learned something more last year. So we put some plans in place that we might not have had before, quick reaction forces that can actually go out and have chainsaws and things like that we didn't have before. We have those now. Dent Middle School will open at 12 tomorrow, noon. That is the first and only Red Cross shelter that has been approved to be open. We've designated some other areas. We have some community shelters that's been designated. They will open as need basis. Dent Middle School will be a safe and secure location along with these other places if we do open them. But we're not going to announce who they are at this point until we actually have to open them. But we're prepared to have them up and running very quickly. We're working very closely with Red Cross, and they're working hand in hand with us. Again, the fire department, the police department, sheriff's department, during this time, it's going to be one agency. You're not going to have 3 separate agencies. You have one public safety agency that is trained together. We're working together. We're communicating. So when you see a response, you're going to see a coordinated response. One of the things that made us successful a couple of years ago was that people listened to us. When we said don't go out, people listened. When we set a curfew, people did not go out. We're asking the same cooperation this time. Heed our warnings, because when we give a warning and tell you not to go out, it's for your safety. There could be some dangerous things out here that can occur. We don't want anybody to get hurt or lose their life. So please listen to us. Do what you did prior. Listen to us. So there's no curfew in effect. We have plans in place, if necessary, that we will put a curfew in place, and that will be a city and county. Will be jointly. It'll be the same thing, but at this time, we don't see a need for that. But we're prepared. That's the message that I want to give all the citizens. That we're prepared, we're ready, and we can address probably just about anything that hits us.
Thank you to my 2 colleagues. Not to repeat everything that they were saying, but we're prepared as well. We've up-staffed. We're putting on extra boat teams. We're putting on extra folks who, when we do catch any kind of incident, the biggest thing that we're concerned about right now is, not so much as the flooding. We're prepared for that. But since everything's been saturated over the years, the trees been saturated, if we get a good wind going on, those trees can topple over. So in our response, we're working directly with the sheriff department and the police department. So with chainsaws to help, supplement our folks. So when we respond to these calls, we can cut paths so our fire trucks can get to incidents. So we're up-staffing, and some concerns that we have is also we just want to send some safety messages out there. Turn around, don't drown. Do not drive through flooded waters because it only puts you in a bad situation. Also, if you do have down power lines, just think about the trees that's going to be falling, the possibility of them falling on power lines. So to make sure you stay away from those power lines, stay at least 100 feet away from them. But consider all power lines as being active, whether you know it's active or not, just consider it as being active. So we just want to make sure everybody stays safe, and if you have any issues, always remember to dial 911. The other thing I do want to emphasize as well, I'm not sure what the wind speed is going to be like, but if it get above 50, we probably will not respond until it gets below 50. That is just for the safety of our public safety folks, so we don't want them responding in wind drifts above 50 miles per hour. So those are just some things to consideration. Again, like the sheriff and the chief said, we have been working together, collaborating, working along with our emergency management chief, Harry Tansley, to make sure that we're ready and that we're ready to not only serve but protect the public as well.
Good afternoon. In preparation for the potential impact of Hurricane Irma, our Columbia water staff is prepared, and we want our customers to know that we're ready. We have staged emergency equipment and supplies to maintain the city's 2 drinking water treatment plants, our wastewater treatment plant, our water distribution system, and our wastewater collection system assets. In addition, staff are going to maintain water storage tank levels at near full throughout the duration of the storm in the event that we do have water main breaks and potential disruptions of service. Key personnel are going to be stationed at critical assets so that we can respond quickly, but they'll be positioned there safely and be able to respond in the event of power or communication failure. On the stormwater side, the lakes along within the Gills Creek watershed have been lowered. They've released water to allow for storage of rainfall runoff to help the dam situation there. We also understand that you may have questions about the Columbia Canal, and we want our customers to be confident of where we stand with that situation. We have engineered controls in place to both monitor and control the water level in the canal, And in this operating scenario, we're very confident that we won't have any breach situation that we encountered 2 years ago. Lastly, I want to just mention that, again, we're very confident that our customers that we'll be able to serve you. And if you do have a service interruption, please call our customer care line. It will be manned. 803-545-3300 is the number to call. And so that'll be your line to report any disruption of service should that occur. We've noticed that water availability, bottled water, is an issue at some of the local stores, and we just encourage our customers with any preparation for storm, you've got fresh, clean, clear water available at your tap right now. So fill up containers and jugs, fill up the bathtub for sanitary uses, and no need to go purchase water for that. Bottom line, we're very confident heading into this storm with our preparation. We're really proud of our staff. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As you've heard from the group behind me, planning is everything. And I believe Public Works has also been planning, as you can imagine, throughout this event. We've done a lot of work over the last few days, making sure that our storm drain system is clean, that it will accept water when the water comes, and if the rain comes and 4 to 7 inches as they're forecasting, that we can handle those rains. But in light of that, we've also pre-staged barricades in and around the city of the flood-prone areas. I believe they were sent out yesterday. These barricades can be rapidly deployed to make sure that cars do not drive through them and actually flood out. So our Forestry and Beautification Division has also been busy trimming trees, making sure that our saws are sharpened. We've also pre-staged in several areas equipment around the city so that we can rapidly respond to any situation. I think the chief said a while ago that, remember, every tree that comes down could have a power line in it. We cannot reiterate enough to look if you're going to drag a limb out of the road or anything else to make sure that there's not a power line in that. If you're unsure, leave it for the professionals. Leave it for us to actually take care of. The one last area that I really want to address is going to be our solid waste division. Through some emails earlier today, we've found out that our landfill will be closing on Monday due to safety concerns. So therefore, our solid waste services, to include recycling, garbage collection, and our trash collection, will be delaying by 1 day. So we will pick up our Monday collections on Tuesday, our Tuesday collections on Wednesday, and after that, we will get back. We will also have solid waste crews readily available in our offices to assist with our Forestry and Beautification Division if the roads get blocked by trees, so they can haul trees away. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to recognize that we've had active participation in our planning from both Congressman Clyburn's office and Senator Graham's office. And we've been in constant communication with Senator Scott's office and Congressman Wilson's office as well. We do have a few of our partners here. We're going to ask to make comment, just again to share as much information as possible in the same format. First, we're going to have Sarah Fawcett, the CEO and President of the United Way of the Midlands, and then we're going to have Ann August, the Executive Director of the COMET, speak. We do have educational leaders here. They've been working with us and coordinating with us. They're going to make separate announcements on behalf of their respective school districts, but we do want to thank Dr. Witherspoon and Dr. Davis for their presence as well. Sarah?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Sarah Fawcett. I am the CEO of the United Way of the Midlands. I want to make just a couple of brief comments about the homeless population and the plans that we have for serving them during this time. Transitions, which is the city's main homeless shelter downtown, is going to have extra capacity in their day center Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday during the day. And then on Monday evening, we are opening the Inclement Weather Center, which is our partnership with the city, Transitions, and the Salvation Army for the adult homeless population. There is going to be expanded meal service Monday night at 5 o'clock at Transitions, followed immediately by transportation to the Inclement Weather Center. So we would ask that anybody that is going to need that type of sheltering be at Transitions not later than 5 o'clock. Transitions is located at 2025 Main Street downtown. One final comment is that families with children who are homeless and that find themselves in trouble or are found by our first responders or law enforcement professionals, we would encourage them to go to the nearest Red Cross emergency facility, emergency shelter, not Transitions or the Inclement Weather Center. If you find someone and direct them towards one of those centers, towards one of the emergency shelters, we would ask that you please contact the United Way with the center that family is located at and any information that you have, such as their name. We will contact them and work in partnership with Homeless No More to get them the appropriate services that they need. In contacting the United Way, we'd ask you specifically to contact Jennifer Moore at jmoore, M-O-O-R-E, at UA.org. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Just wanted to kind of give a little brief update. The Comet will run normal services that are scheduled on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday throughout this period until we can no longer run services based on weather conditions. We will also continue to inform everyone based on local media outlets, the Comet webpage, inclement weather hotline, and social media channels to keep our passengers and the residents informed of any closures or detours or anything that we might know at that time. We're also prepared to transport anyone that needs to go to shelters. We will be in constant contact between the city and the county to determine where these individuals will be picked up and where they will be delivered to in terms of the shelters. So any additional information that you may need, you can always contact the Comet or look at our website, and additional information will be on those different medias. So if you have any additional questions, we can take those. Thank you.
We want to thank you all for being here and helping us to disseminate all of this very pertinent information. We would just close by reminding the public to be aware and be conscious of the information sources that you are seeking. We totally advise that you just stick to the Columbia SC website, columbiasc.net. That will be where we will post all of the information you've heard. Also call our customer care number at 545-3300 for non-emergencies, 545-3300 for non-emergencies, and particularly for downed trees, you can call directly to get the fastest service, 545-3780, 545-3780. We will have information from the Comet, the United Way that was shared, as well as SENG on power outages, again, at our website, columbiasc.net. And at this time, we can take any questions. Yes, sir. Yes.
Staffing, does that mean every sworn person is going to be on duty, or are you holding some back in case you have needs the next day or the day after that?
Well, obviously, we have people in reserve. We cancel leave and have all staff available, very similar to the posture we took during the eclipse. If you can wear a uniform, you're going to have it on and be ready to respond.
Same with the sheriff's department. We've called everybody in, so we have them in shifts, though. We don't want to use everybody up at one time, but so we've got a lot out. If the schools close, which I anticipate they probably will, that gives us all the school resource officers. That's over 80 additional officers that we'll have to be able to supplement what we already have out.
The question of bottled water in the city at this point, are you stocking up in case, like you did during the flood, you need to distribute bottled water?
Well, you know, we are a very gracious city too, Cliff, and we have tried to be good partners with the efforts in Houston and other parts of Texas. But yes, sir, we are prepared to operate pods or points of distribution if that becomes necessary. We've already identified those locations.
And Cliff, of course, to reemphasize Mr. Shealy's comments, we do want to encourage everyone has to play a role, be a citizen leader in this effort, and the opportunities that conservation and preparation now is so important. So store up water now. You have good, safe, clean water coming from your tap right now. Store it up, and for sanitary and cleaning purposes, fill up your bathtubs now.
I'm sorry, Cliff, was that the day program?
Yeah, you said they were going to increase capacity by how much?
They can do it by about 400
Additional to what they normally take?
total capacity.
Total capacity.
Total capacity, yeah.
All right.
Anybody else questions? Ms. Owens? Yes, sir. You're going to make Comet buses available to transport the homeless, or what I understood you to say?
Yes, anyone that's going to be going to shelters,
Meaning the city shelter, because it's opening on Monday night.
all shelters.
All shelters, not just the homeless.
All
but
shelters. All shelters.
All citizens, all shelters.
Yes, yes.
In addition to Cliff, what Ms. August and those will assist us with, if that becomes necessary, the Inclement Weather Center, through the partnership with the United Way, has a dedicated transportation source. So we will follow that normal protocol, and if the volume becomes necessary that we have to ask for their help, I know they'll
We'll
help us
take the
out.
overflow. We're the backup.
That shelter will be open starting tomorrow, the city inclement weather shelter on Monday, is that correct?
Yes, yes, Inclement Weather Center, Monday evening, and the extra capacity at the day center, at Transitions Day Center will start Sunday.
That extra meal, is that going to be served at transition?
Served at Transitions Monday night, yes.
At 5 p.m.?
At 5 p.m.
Just that one day as far as?
Yes, yes.
So let me just offer another point of clarification on sheltering. The shelter at Dent Middle School that the sheriff referenced is the first identified Red Cross shelter that those are operated through the counties. All through the state, the counties have to identify Red Cross shelters for evacuees first that are coming into the Midlands, et cetera. They will, of course, not turn away any individuals who are here in the Midlands who also need sheltering, but there, in addition to those Red Cross designated shelters, there are emergency community centers that are also identified for people located here locally. And so all of that information, as it becomes necessary, as the volume would increase, those different locations will be pushed out. But Dent Middle School is the first shelter to open at 12 noon tomorrow. I would imagine so. I mean, based off the volume and, of course, waiting on further state decisions to be made as far as evacuations from the coast, yes, we would imagine that would be the case.
Well, thank y'all. Stay in touch, and I want to promise the people of Columbia, Richland County, and the Midlands that we are going to stay in constant communication, operating in the best interests of public health and safety. God bless you, and pray for those in the path of Irma and all the other tropical storms and hurricanes. Thank you.